Hey my friends, today I am going to show you how to make some fake strawberries, and these are perfect to use on any of your fake bakes as accents or to throw into like a fruit salad. I always like to show you guys the basic things that you can use to add to your other fake bakes. So I thought this would be a great one, especially since it's spring and summer right now. So I'm going to show you two different ways that you can do this. I'm using Modelite. You can use any air dry foam clay, Auto Magic, or even any of the off brands off of Amazon. And just condition your clay and then roll it into a ball. And then we're going to kind of start making like a cone shape with it. So just pulling the end to kind of a point and just working it around with your fingers. And then if you have any lines like that, you can just smooth those out with your finger. And then just flatten the top down. And as you can see, we're starting to get a strawberry shape here. So just keep working it until you get it where you want it. And then I'm going to take my finger and just press down in there a little bit because we want to get that nice kind of like rounded part at the top. And then we need to put our leaves and stem up there later. Okay, so the first way I'm going to show you is the really easy way to make all the little seed holes. And it's not going to be as perfect as if you do it the other way, but it'll still look good. So all you need is a brush like this that has these little balls on the end, and you're just going to take it and run it all along your strawberry. And if you want to add some more, just go back in again. Make sure you get up at the top too. So like I said, it's not perfect, but if you want a quick way to do it, that's the way you can do that. So now I'll show you the more perfect way. I like to do it the perfect way, but I know some people don't have the patience, so I just wanted to show you another option. So we're going to shape this one just like we did with the other one. So now that I have my strawberry shape made, I'm going to start making some little dots all the way around. And then the second row, you don't want to put the dot right underneath the first row. You want to put it in between. And then go back to the same as the first row for the third. And hold this lightly so you don't mess up the dots on the other side as you're working on one side. So depending how glossy you want this to be, will depend how much Mod Podge you add to your paint. So I want mine pretty glossy, so I'm gonna add like a third paint and 2/3 Mod Podge. You could also just use gloss paint if you have gloss paint. I don't really like the red color that I have in gloss, so I just figured I'll do it this way. Okay, now to paint this, I'm going to put a toothpick in to the top, and then that'll help me hold on to it while I'm painting. And your color is going to look more pink with the Mod Podge mixed in while it's wet, but once it dries, it'll be red. Because the Mod Podge is, looks white when it's wet, so it's going to give it that kind of pinky look, but it'll go away. Oh, and I forgot to tell you, I'm using True Red from Anita's. You could even go with a little bit of a deeper red. This is the only one I have right now, so this makes like a nice bright strawberry, but if you wanted it to be I guess a little more realistic would be like a little bit darker red color. And you'll probably have to do 2 coats of this. And this is how I'm drying my strawberries. So I just have some foam rounds, and I'm just going to stick the toothpick in there and let it dry that way. So while that's drying, we'll make the leaves and the little stem. So I'm just going to get some more of my Modelite and put it on my wax paper here. I'm just going to push it out a little bit, and then I'm going to roll it out with my rolling pin pretty thin. I want the leaves to be pretty thin. I'm actually going to put a little cornstarch on top of my clay just to make it easier to roll out, and use the cookie cutter that I'm going to use. So, okay, so I bought this little set of, these are, I think, fruit and vegetable cutters. It has a ton of different shapes in it. It's so cute. But I have this little flower shape that I thought would be perfect for the strawberry leaves. But you could also use a star shape too. I think that will look just fine. So that's an option too. If you don't have like a fancy set and you just want to use something that you already have, a star will work. So I'm just gonna press in my cutter and then pull all the extra clay away. Push my little leaves out, and then we need to make a little stem too. I'm not gonna make it a long stem for this one. I'm just gonna make like a tiny little stem sticking out. So just roll your piece of clay and however big you want it to be. Okay, so the color of the leaves is super important. I tried these and I used like a lime green color and it looked like a cartoon strawberry. So this color that I'm using is called Moss from Waverly. I think it looks pretty good, but you know, you can obviously play around and find whatever color you like. So I'm just going to paint this, and this one I'm not adding any gloss to because the leaves really are not glossy anyway, so no need for that unless you want them to be shiny. And then I'm going to paint the little stem too. I'm actually going to go ahead and put my stem on, so I'm going to use my dotting tool, and I'm just going to make a little indentation there that I can put the stem into. And then I'm just going to push the clay around it just to make sure it stays in there. Would have been easier to do this before it was painted too. Okay, so then let's just let that dry. While the leaves are drying, I'm going to do a second coat on my strawberry. All right, so now I have my strawberry pretty much dried. I'm going to take the toothpick out. Just smush that down, it's not going to show. I'm going to put the leaves on. This probably would stick on its own, but I just want to make sure. So I'm going to put some hot glue under here. I don't want the top falling off. And then you can see I missed a little on the edges with the green paint. So I'm going to take a small paintbrush and just go in and hit those. See how shiny it is with that amount of Mod Podge. So if you wanted it less shiny, you can put less Mod Podge and more paint. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have an awesome day, and I will see you in the next video.